Alright, welcome. This is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Read Japanese, a course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Today's episode is黒革の手帖, Episode 3, Part 2. The second half of Episode 3. We're approaching the midway point of this series, so, hey, again, things are going fast. This series does not take breaks. Alright. I think she's already embezzled $1.7 million, equivalent thereof, and it only cost her $100,000. I know, okay. 1億 7000 yen. There we go. That's a mouthful there. And she's already causing some problems with people. We already saw like her former employer or boss basically assaulted her. Looks like she's ticking off some other people of means, and they're aware of her activities. And usually people who get a lot of money don't like it when a lot of their money gets taken away. So we'll see what's going to come about of all of this. Okay, with that said, let's get started. So for those of you on YouTube, if you're watching this video, remember to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and leave a comment because feedback's always welcome. If you appreciate the series, I'd like to see more like it. Like, again, after this is going to be Shinya Shokudo. Soon in the future is going to be some TV shows based on books, but also Terrace House will be doing those. So got plenty of... but if you'd like to see more series like this, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project, so if you appreciate what I'm doing here with helping the Japanese learning community and like to support that in some way, one method is via the Patreon, so the link to that is in the description below, as well as links to the community Discord and the website that Otakude put together. Finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, technical assistance, advice, but usually it's when people hire me it's 1 or 2 sessions of me talking to them on Discord, one-on-one, walking them through the setup of Anki and some of the other resources to get them where they can be learning Japanese in the manner which I'm describing. You know, get over the growing pains as quickly as possible. All right, so if you're interested in that, the hourly rates and the payment is via the Patreon, so the link to that is in the description as well. Okay, with that said, let's get into it. We're about the 23 minute mark. We'll start right here and get in both my earphones, and let's go. I'm expecting this to take about 40-45 minutes, but I could be wrong. You never know.
そうよ。
そうよ。
買えるだけのお金を手に入れればいいことよ。買ってもらうんじゃ。ナミコと一緒じゃない。
Yeah, so she doesn't want it bought for her. She wants it. Little mark about what happens when someone has control over her. And remembering someone being nice to her.
架空口座の脱税だけじゃ。架空口座の脱税だけじゃ。奈良林と同様5000万がいいとこ。
そうだよ。金が欲しくない人間なんていないんだよ。
教授が住所をしてたってことはそれで OK ってことなんだよ。だからガンガン行け。だからガンガン行け。
3億でロダンを手に入れるためには、橋田のもっと大きな弱点を手に入れなきゃ。いい加減にしてください、支店長。
Whoa. Hmm.
君も相当しつこいね。
君も相当しつこいね。
無礼は承知しております。
秋葉。
無礼は承知しております。
No, it's like being in madness and 承知していること。Okay.
無礼は承知しております。会長、どうか私にお力を貸してください。出たければ勝手に出ればいいじゃないか。
出たければ。
出たければ勝手に出ればいいじゃないか。 そこをなんとか。この通りでございます。大体君はよくもまあお世話になった江口未亡人を裏切るような真似ができたもんだな。会長、私は母一人子一人で育ちました。立候補を決意した時、私は母に約束しました。黒塗りの大きな車をうちの前に止めて。
黒塗り。I realize there's more to it than that. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
黒塗りの大きな車をうちの前に止めて、必ず母さんを迎えに行くからと。私は何としても肩身の狭い思いをして生きてきた母に。
肩身の。肩身の狭い。
肩身の狭い思いをして生きてきた母に世間を見返させてやりたいんです。世間を見返させてやりたいんです。ですが会長のお力なくして私は勝つことができません。どうか会長のお力なくして私は勝つことができません。どうか私を男にしてください。お願いいたします。
おい、府長。
院長先生、今府長さん呼んだでしょ。
呼んでないよ。なんだその顔は。
お客様ですけど。
早く言いなさい。誰？
山田さんです。
山田？どこの山田？
あ、
バーデンバーデンの山田です。
あっち行ってなさい。行ってなさい。
はーい。
おい、困るよ。
困ってるのはこっちです。先生、よう残りの金払うてよ。開店1週間も過ぎてもって店開く前からケチついたやないの。開店1週間も過ぎてもって店開く前からケチついたやないの。ちっとも来てくれへんし。
いろいろね、忙しくって。
前のオペとオペの間もちょっとの合間にも来てくれたやないですか。
今。
前のオペとオペの間もちょっとの合間にも来てくれたやないですか。ナミコが眠い言うてるのに先生無理やり。
今日は必ず行くからね。今は帰ってくれ。
ほんまですか？
ほんまです。
そしたらバーデンバーデンの方で会いません？買い物にも付き合ってほしいし。
また買い物か。
だってママになるんやから今までみたいな安っぽい服着られへんわ。
ああ、分かった分かったね。とにかく今は帰ってくれな。
絶対やで。
絶対や絶対や。頼むよ。
ありがとうございます。
どうだ調子は。
悪くないです。 秋葉会長も力を貸してくれそうですし。
本当か。お前もなかなかやり手だな。
いや、
あの人が邪魔しなかったら勝ちも同然だ。あの人が邪魔しなかったら勝ちも同然だ。
Let me see, make sure about dozen. Kawari no nai. Same thing, right? Unaji. Yeah, it's the same thing. Dozen. Basically. Okay, dozen.
いや、
あの人が邪魔しなかったら勝ちも同然だ。いよいよ安島代議士先生か。
そう簡単にいくかどうか。
そりゃそうだ。簡単に手に入ったらつまんないもんな。バッチも女も。簡単に手に入ったらつまんないもんな。バッチも女も。お前カルネのママとはもう寝たか？
He gives his hand away way too quick. And, jealousy is a easy thing to exploit.
いや、そんな。
Oh, Laratica. Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't notice the comment. So, yeah,
俺は寝たよ。
it's kind of a creepy thing, Okay. Okay. Is that her feeling jealous or thinking she wants to be with him again? Yep, yep, yep. That's the one thing it's hard to control. That is so creepy.
はい、どなた？どなたですか？
いちこです。
いちこさん？すぐに出ますから、ちょっと待ってらしてね。ごめんなさい。夕べ遅くってね、パジャマ着てたの。さあどうぞ。
Let me see something real quick.
ごめん。すぐ。
Okay.
ごめんなさい。夕べ遅くってね、パジャマ着てたの。さあどうぞどうぞ。
私の方こそ突然に。
ごめんなさいね。
これ。
もうそんなに気を使わないで。コーヒーでいいですか？
あ、私すぐに失礼しますんで。
どうしたんですか？この間の物件抑えられたんでしょ？契約しなかったんですか？どうして？
お返しします。ごめんなさい。
一体どういうこと？説明してくださいよ。
どう説明したらいいのか。
Ozawaken?
ねえいちこさん、今度引っ越したところ確か中央線沿線よね。
Not sure about. I mean, I'm sure that's the line. Um, Shosen. Okay.
今度引っ越したところ確か中央線沿線よね。わざわざ新橋まで行ってお菓子買ってきてくださったの？奈良林美容外科クリニックにいらしたの？
いえ、
本当？
外から様子を。
何のためにね？
気になって。
それでこのお金を返すわけ？奈良林美容外科クリニックに戻るんですか？
それはまだわかりません。
ちょっと待ってよ。ふざけないでよ。あなたが気の毒だから私、奈良林先生のところに行ってこれもらってきてあげたんじゃないの？楽しい仕事じゃなかったわよ。
あなたには感謝してます。でも
どうしてよ。あんなに喫茶店始めることを楽しみにしてたじゃないの。未来が近くにあるのにどうしてそれを手に取ろうとしないんですか？過去に戻ってしまうんですか？
私には過去も大事なんです。
She's got a lot of problems.
20代の時からずっとあの病院で生きてきて、それを否定してしまうようなことは。
違うわ。きれい事を言わないで。
きれい事？
結局あなたは別れられないだけなのよ、奈良林先生と。でもそれは愛情っていうより腐れ縁なのよ。
Assume that means decayed fate, like a foul fate. Let's see, fatal connection. Okay, I'm happy. Not exactly codependent, but maybe it is a kind of maybe even rated as codependent. Uh,
腐れ縁なのよ。惰性なのよ。
惰性。今まで続いてきた。
腐れ縁なのよ。惰性なのよ。
ずいぶん分かったようなこと言うのね。
傍から見てれば誰でもわかることよ。
That's what even from the outside. 傍から見てれば。
傍から見てれば誰でもわかることよ。情けないわ。男なしじゃ生きられないなんて。私そんな女。情けないわ。男なしじゃ生きられないなんて。私そんな女をいっぱい知ってる。男に踏みつけられてるくせに泣きながらも離れられないのよ。あなたは私に似てると思ったけど、私の勘違いだったわ。正反対の人だった。
何とでも言ってちょうだい。悪いのは私ですから。
Which is funny because, like I said, she doesn't really care about her. Obviously she's lying, but in a way, what she's saying is true. You kind of tell that as well. Because obviously, if she gives us, she can't give it back. She's not going to give it back. You can't do that. It's because again, I like that. Like again, she basically forced the doctor not involving, not Kyoko. Not involving her at all. But
今さらこんなこと言うのなんなんだけど、 楽しかったわ。あなたと一緒に喫茶店見に行って、そこで働く自分の姿を想像して、いい夢を見せてもらったわ。それに私ずっと女友達がいなかったから、病院の看護婦仲間にも打ち解けられなくて。
ちょっとけ Erase new, become new. Erase the old, become the new. To be frank. しとける。しとける。
病院の看護婦仲間にも打ち解けられなくて嫌われてたのね。だから残念だわ、こんな別れ方。
See, real quick by Love Radica. I tried to watch Pepper Pig. As you said, I understand a lot, but what it said, the problem is can't find the subtitles yet. But it's also trying with other shows. But again, if you do a search, do a search on subreddit Learn Japanese. I made a post of a link to it of the Pepper Pig transcripts. So somebody again made a transcript of all the Pepper Pig of like 60 Pepper Pig episodes. So you'll be able to find it there. So they'll work like subtitles. So that'll solve a lot of those problems. And the good thing about the transcripts, like he'll have the English sentence and the Japanese sentence, so as well. So that can help. I think you'll find that solves most of the problems. Okay.
でも一つだけ言っとくわ。あなたは女の気持ちが分かってない。人の気持ちってものが分かってないわ。
I think that's wrong.
さよなら。
I think she has her own understandings, just that she's seen the bad stuff in life, you know. Getting into her uniform.
ねえナミちゃん、
じゃあ
回転が遅れてるみたいだけど何かあったの？
別に。
困ったことがあったら相談乗るわよ。
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take her advice either.
何なの？
なんでそんなこと言うの？あんなに怒ってはったのに。
I wonder if that's a. No, it's not the same. I'm assuming that's a Kobe Ben or Osaka Ben.
あんなに怒ってはったのに。
Okota.
なんか企んでるんやないの？
何も。
Takaramu scheming plan. なんか企んでる。
何も。
なんか企んでるんやないの？
何も。本心で言ってるだけよ。ごめんなさい。
And again, that's another why don't if you're gonna be poking somebody in the eye, maybe don't. That's why you don't want to be in the same building because again, it's gonna be kind of you're gonna have these uncomfortable elevator rides. It, kind of obviously like the idea that they're actually coming to work at the same time. I just don't see that happening. But again, it does make for the occasional entertaining conversation as far as the drama is concerned. Have to search him, man. Download Chrome. Yeah, don't worry about stuff like that. Just don't worry about. Yeah, you can just do a pop up. Just do the learn languages with YouTube if you need that. And I think that would be pretty much all you would need with Japanese videos. But again, just do a search. I'm like I say, search the Reddit, the Learn Japanese subreddit. It's one of the posts I made. It links to it. I think that you'll find that solves your whole problem that you were having. And again, I do the opposite with I do this with Japanese children that are learning English, and again, it's a little easier for them because I can actually do have the transcripts for English transcripts, but it'll make it's definitely easy to understand once you got the transcripts. Look up the occasional word that you don't know. The whole episode becomes comprehensible. You watch it again, and it's like, oh yeah, almost 100% understand after that. Karene. Let's go.
お疲れ様です。お疲れ様でした。
By the end of the workday. Yeah?
気をつけてね。
Another.
しつこい男ね。
It may not be the same guy. It could be again. She's pissed off some people, so it doesn't always have to be the same person.
ママ、無言電話この間の男じゃないですよ。
なぜ？
あの日あの男がここに座ってた時も無言電話あったんです。
Ah.
他にいるんじゃないですか？
Wait. You waited. You sat on that information this long, there, asshole? Come on. Sumie, trying to.
ママでいらっしゃいますか？ええ、そうですけど、私を使っていただけませんでしょうか？ホステスとしてってことですか？はい、ダメですか？いえ、どうぞお座りください。こちらどうぞ。この仕事初めてですか？はい。どうしてこの店選んでくれたの？どなたかに聞いて？いえ、偶然なんです。さっきからこの通りをうろうろしていて、たまたまこのカルネっていう看板が目に入ったんで。そう。どういう意味だか知ってる？いいえ。フランス語で手帳って意味なのよ。手帳。ママはフランス語がおできになるんですか？いいえ、全然。
Let's see. Make sure. Oh, they can not. Okay, can do that. Okay.
ママはフランス語がおできになるんですか？いいえ、全然。
I wonder if the actress can though. I don't know how many. I'm assuming that maybe the actress she may actually know a few languages. I don't know like to what level.
ママ電話です。橋田さんから。
はい。ちょっと待っててね。
はい。
ね、どうもあの子。
いやちょっと地味かな。
そう、でも私気に入ったわ。入れようと思うの。お待たせいたしました。
お待たせ。ママいつのこと言ってんだ。
ごめんなさい、あの日は。まだ怒ってらっしゃる？
呆れてる。
だって交換条件は嫌よ。
Exchange. Okay. Exchange conditions. Bargaining point. 交換条件。
だって交換条件は嫌よ。
今赤坂の梅村って料亭にいるんだ。
梅村。
今赤坂の梅村って料亭にいるんだ。
梅村。
10分程度で行けるよ。
ごめんなさい。お客様と約束してるの。
すっぽかせよ、得意だろう。
すっぽかせ。約束し。Let loose, ignore it, neglect to do. すっぽかせよ。
すっぽかせよ、得意だろう。
すっぽかせよ。
ね、橋田さん、いつかクルーザー見せてくれるって言ってたわよね。覚えてます？
言ったか？
私久しぶりに海が見たいの。わかりました。きっとよ。楽しみにしてます。じゃあ。
はい。
ごめんなさい。
もしかして今のお電話、橋田以下進学セミナールの。
そうよ。どうして知ってるの？
私が勤めていた料亭梅村なんです。橋田理事長さんはよくお見えになってました。
そう。どんな方とお会いになってたのかしら。
お医者様とか。
医学部の教授。
多分。でも私そんなこと言ってしまっていいんでしょうか。
私は誰にも言わないわ。こういう商売ですもの。面白いから聞いてみただけ。もしお時間があったら美味しい讃岐うどんのお店があるんだけど。
おいしい。おいしい、さぬきを。ぬきうどん。ぬきうどん。ぬき。I can't remember. Let's see. おいしさ。さぬきうどん. Okay. Gotcha. Wow, look at that one right there. It's not too difficult. Yeah, these particular kanjis, you can tell these are the kanji that were not, um, again, they've been modernized. So, but in these cases, the older forms of it. But you can tell, like, it can be modernized really quickly. It's never officially modernized it. So you're kind of left with these old versions of it. And then you have to, instead of that, again, I mean, if you modernize it, like, you can definitely tell these would not be that difficult to memorize. I mean, if you needed to memorize it. So, what is that? Praise. Fairly free. Man, I mean, definitely in the 5% range, if not less. 3%, maybe in the 3% range. Sanuki. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was getting distracted by that. Oh, and by the way, Radica, good that you're able to find it. I think, like I said, I think you're going to find that. Just go to the number one of that particular uh, blog that they do. Go to the first one. That'll be the pretty much match with the first episode of Pepper Pig, and yeah, I think you'll find it's yeah. Just go episode by episode. Look up the words you don't know. Rewatch it after you've done the 5 minutes, and see what it's like. See what the rewatch is like, and yeah, just do that episode by episode. Um, if I don't think you need to worry too much about learning vocabulary from it yet, because you should be learning vocabulary through your own resources. But yeah, I think you'll find it quite enjoyable. And after that, go to more higher level stuff. And it doesn't have, for me, I prefer dramas, but again, as far as for starting points, a 5 minute cartoon or a 15-minute cartoon, those are, yeah, those are good to go with. And preferably you would go for Japanese, but Peppa Pig it's a very simple cartoon. If you find a Japanese cartoon that's that simple, that's meant for kids, it's, seems to follow, simple stuff. Go with it.
ゆっくりお話聞きたい。美味しい讃岐うどんのお店があるんだけど、ゆっくりお話聞きたいわ。
でもお客様とお約束が。
銀座では上手な嘘は下手な本当よりも喜ばれるのよ。誰だって銀座では上手な嘘は下手な本当よりも喜ばれるのよ。誰だって簡単に誘いに乗るような女にはすぐに興味を失ってしまうわ。
勉強になります。
すぐに誰だって簡単に誘いに乗るような女にはすぐに興味を失ってしまうわ。
勉強になります。
ちょっと待っててね。支度してくるから。
Like that, I was like, oh, I really learned a lot. I mean, well, it's very interesting.
ちょっと待っててね。支度してくるから。そうだ。まだお名前聞いてなかったわね。
今野すみえです。
Konno Sumiya. Yeah, Konno. And that's a navy blue cone, so that's like a navy blue field. So maybe that's an actual. No, yeah, but yeah, there you go. Cone for dark navy blue. Sumiya.
今野すみえです。
すみえさん、どうして梅村を辞めたの？
おかみさんが店を畳みたいとおっしゃっていて。あ、そういえば橋田さんが梅村を買うなんて話も。
そう、橋田さんが両手をなさるの？
さあ、安く買って転売なさるのないでしょうか。それだけでも何億というお金が。
See, Timba? Visa.
それだけでも何億というお金が。あ、私は分かりませんけど。
そう。今日からお店に出てもらうことになったすみえさん。本名でよかったよね。
はい。すみえです。何も分かりませんのでよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いし
美里ちゃん、あなたのヘルプで入ってもらうから頼む。美里ちゃん、あなたのヘルプで入ってもらうから頼むわよ。
はい。
Huh. Bitch, that ain't your store. Get the fuck out.
ママいてる？
ナミコ、あんた何しに来たのよ。
どいて。ママ、
何か？
私の店ダメになったんよ。
まあ、どうして？
しらばっくれんといて。
There you go. Oh. Shirabak?
まあ、どうして？
しらばっくれんといて。ママの仕業やろ。ママの仕業やろ。
Shiwaza. Okay. So I would have been pronouncing. I was thinking it was like Shigyo instead of Shiwaza. Oh, Shiwaza yaro.
ママの仕業やろ。
Shiwaza yaro.
人聞きの悪いこと言わないでちょうだい。
人聞きの悪い。人聞き。人聞きの悪い。人聞きの悪い。
奈良林
人聞きの悪いこと言わないでちょうだい。
奈良林先生の代理有弁護士が来て。奈良林先生の代理有弁護士が来て、もう援助できん言うてきたわ。
それが。
I just find it amazing. Like she would be having this conversation, this very embarrassing conversation, in front of other people who will have no problem talking about it because they don't give a crap about her. In fact, probably a lot of those, a couple of those girls just really, really hate her. Yeah. Let's see. La Radica, real quick. Yeah, I'll do that. I found a few shows from the childhood. Okay, cool. As for kanji, what do you do? Only recognize, or do you also? But again, that's just kanji is going to be. This is going to be a difference. This is more of a. I'll tell you what. After I'm done with this particular video, I'll talk to this in more in depth before I do the re-listen of the audio. Okay. Anyway, let's finish this up real quick. Okay.
もう援助できん言うてきたわ。
それがどうして私のせいなの？
それしか考えられへん。絶対そうや。あんたの態度見てればわかる。
もうお店開く時間だから帰ってちょうだい。先生に捨てられたからって八つ当たりはやめて。
八つ当たり。これいや。関係ない。No concern? 八つ当たり。
先生に捨てられたからって八つ当たりはやめて。
ちょっと待ち。あんたのせいやないの。
やめろって。おい。
邪魔やで。
いい？あなたの今の状態はね、全部自分で招いてることなの。私はあなたのことが嫌いだけど、あなたなんて相手にしてないわ。もっと上を見てんのよ。
早速
た立ちなさい。そんなとこうろうろされたら商売になんないでしょ。そんなとこうろうろされたら商売になんないでしょ。
あんたなんか銀座で商売で経由したるか。
銀座で商売できなくなったのはどっちの方かしら。ほら、店開けるわよ。ほらほら。
仕事。
さくありがとう。
営業しよう。
ママ、かっこよかったです。私ママみたいになりたい。
ありがとう。ほら、あなたも仕事して。はい。
ありがとうございました。すみえさん初めてとは思えない。
ほんとほんと。うかうかしてると逆転されちゃうよ。
そんな。
No one ordered?
うかうかしてると逆転されちゃうよ。
そんな。
そうよね。
ママ。
Oops.
安島さん。
しばらく。
もうおいでいただけないのかと思ってたわ。
どうして？
おいでいただけない。おいでいただけない。
なんとなく。何？
君銀行に勤めてた時何したの？
That was quick.
口止め料か。
I mean, that's like silence money.
わからない。
Make sure that's probably a phrase. Yeah, hush money. There we go.
自分でもわからないの。
なぜそん
2億6。2億。
That was quick. Yeah,
2億6千だったら
2億6千だったら。
私に売ってくださいますか？
なぜそんなにロダンを
Wait a minute.
なぜそ
2億6千だったら私に売ってくださいますか？
なぜそんなにロダンを
騙されたよ、あの女に。
Oh, the other bank employee, right?
騙されたよ、あの女に。並ば。騙されたよ、あの女に。奈良林先生。
Uh-huh.
をゆすって。騙されたよ、あの女に。
奈良林先生をゆすって5000万出させたって噂が飛んでるわよ。
単なる噂です。
All right. Uh, yeah. So she's not really getting away get away with all this for free. I mean, you piss off enough people when money's involved, they're going to use some extra money to kind of get revenge, or whatnot. Yeah, it's not going to. Again, if this was simple, it wouldn't be an entertaining drama, would it? And again, feel no pity because she does anything bad happens to her, she probably deserves it as well. I mean, no, there's really no good players in all this. Okay. With that said, let me go and finish it up now. Then with that, I'll talk to. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let me talk to Loradica about this now. All right. So Loradica, let's see. You'll do. I found a few shows of childhood that are available in Japanese. Good. That's um, and hopefully also you can find some Japanese shows as well. But again, something simple. So I don't recommend anything more complicated, like if you SpongeBob SquarePants, maybe something that's short and sweet, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. If it gets longer, then it kind of now you're talking about a more complicated story. Something to the level of if it's something to the level of Sesame Street, and again that's reasonable. When you're just talking like when you're just starting off, and again this is for stuff that you're starting off with, because again you got limited vocabulary, and hopefully with children's shows the grammar is complicated, but the vocabulary will be more simple. So don't. A lot of people make a mistake. They assume that children's show, that means children's show is simple. When it comes to the Japanese, it's still native level Japanese, because again it's for kids that are native level Japanese, naturally. Um, and the vocabulary would be simple, but how the grammar is going to be definitely it would be an advanced level to someone who's learning Japanese. So they kind of grab the grammar quick. They kind of learn that, definitely through the exposure and mass exposure that they get as kids, since that's their only exposure to any language is Japanese. So it kind of makes sense there. Whereas, again, their exposure to vocabulary would be limited, but the use of the vocabulary in sentences, hence the grammar, that's going to be complicated because they've been exposed to that to a large degree. Maybe concepts of time might be a little, more subtle details about what happens in the future or past. Yeah, okay, that may or may not be there, but for the most part, you're going to be running. So just be aware of that. That's what I mean about. So the probably is going to have simple vocabulary But if you follow along, usually what you hear is what you're going to see. That's going to make things easier. Anyway, beyond that, as for kanji, what do you do? Is they only recognize them, or do you also know how to write them? When I do with kanji, then again, there's a difference between the structured part of things and the unstructured, which is like sentence mining. Sentence mining is unstructured study. Then of course there's what you're seeing here. Like I might look up a kanji. It doesn't mean like udon. I mean, right now, if I think about it, so it's like if I know, like, if you know, like a tatakai, that particular kanji, sun, or akari, like sun over plate. So that's part of udon. The other one was kantan, or earthworm. What I think about it. So I can think about it, like I memorized those two kanji. I could actually probably, if I wanted to, write it out from memory. In fact, just for S and G's. Okay. All right, so kind of like roughly that right there. And so that'd be the very old-fashioned way of writing udon, I would guess. Now, again, you saw that's how quickly it is to learn kanji. But for myself, when I study kanji, and I study kanji a different way, when I first started, so because I did all of RDK at once, and I don't recommend doing that. But the biggest thing is like writing from memory. There is some benefits to that, and being able to, when you're doing stories, is because of the way I was doing kanji, it wasn't just here's a sentence someone came up with and it was just a sentence mnemonic. It was visual mnemonic. So it was like literally like in that particular like udon right there, I am imagining Earthworm Jim, because that's the thing I use for Earthworm. So I remember Earthworm Jim because that was a video game I played when I was younger, or Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, characters. So the parts that make up the kanji, I visualize these kanji play out. So I can recognize kanji fairly well and memorize it fairly well, for the most part. Now, it doesn't mean like I hear a word, I'll know how to write the word from memory, even though I might remember the kanji. I just might not remember that's the kanji that goes with that word. And also, there are some kanji I forget, but for the most part, when it comes to like I learned kanji specifically on its own. So there's its own for Anki. There's a kanji deck, but also I do it with vocabulary. So I think I mentioned this before. When I do vocabulary, in this case specifically with the Tango decks, if I hear a word, I imagine like, okay, how do I write the kanji for that word in memory? Now, if I look at the word and it turns out it was a hiragana katakana word, I don't sweat that. Even if I probably in there is a little note about what the kanji form of that vocabulary. I don't care if I get that wrong or not, because that's a super optional thing. So, but if it happens to be in kanji, that's because I'm assuming the producers of the books are assuming that that's an important word to know in its kanji form. So if I hear a word, can I write it in kanji? That becomes super important. But now, like I mentioned, though, I have what's called soft goals and hard goals. A hard goal with vocabulary, like I mentioned this earlier off stream, but I'll mention it here on stream. I'm sorry, off video, is hard goals and soft goals. For kanji, it's very simple. Kanji is always production based. So I see a keyword and it gives me some additional words describing that kanji. And in addition to, there's maybe 5 to 6 words using that kanji. With all that context, can I write this kanji from memory? Okay, yes or no. That's a hard fail. Okay, if I can't do that. Now, there might be a soft fail, like if I get a couple things, I might miss a stroke, or I might get a couple things mismatched. I might turn that into hard goal. It's like, yeah, okay. I didn't write it perfectly, but fine. I'm not going to miss it. I'll just mark it difficult. Those are my hard goals. But for the most part, I should be able to write it from memory. With vocabulary, it's different. So the soft goal with vocabulary is if I hear a word with the sentence, do I know what the word means? And if I read a word, do I know how to pronounce it, and do I know what the word means? That's my hard goal. I need with the sentence. So the soft goal is for the reading part is, can I read the word and do I know what it means without using the sentence as context? Outside of the context of the sentence, do I know what this word means? That's a hard goal. Sometimes you do need the sentence, but you don't want to always depend on the sentence. For the most part, a lot of words you should be able to know without the context of a sentence. You kind of want to gain that so that you know this word outside of either by itself or in other different contexts. Like if the context is minimal, can you still understand what this word means? So that can be important. That's for the text-based vocabulary parts. Then I have the sound-based, where the audio is the question. With the audio is, when I hear the word and I hear it in the sentence, can I write that word from memory? That's a hard goal. I'm sorry, that's a soft goal. So if I can't do it, and it's in this way I say with soft goals. A soft goal would be, if I miss the soft goal, but the card is not going to be spaced over a month, no problem. If it's soft goal and the card will be spaced over a month, but under 6 months, I'll mark it hard. If it's a soft goal and I miss it, but it'll put the card by marking it difficult. If I mark it hard and it puts it over 6 months, then I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to miss that card. That's for me, and that's just my personal thing on the idea. There are certain things that, think of it like spelling. Think of writing stuff in kanji as being like with spelling. If you tell someone who's learning English, spelling's not that important. The computer's going to correct your spelling for you, so you don't need to worry about spelling. That sounds kind of stupid, because spelling's going to be kind of important in learning English. Same thing with, even if you know what a word means, and you know it when you read it, you should be able to know how to spell a word, especially super simple words, right? With Japanese, instead of spelling, it's more like kanji. You should know what kanji goes with the word, and at least get close enough where you can, identify it. I think that's within reason. I could be wrong. I just feel like, hey, the average Japanese adult probably could write these words from memory, especially if they're like the basic words that make up the JLPT Tango series of books, those 10,000 words. And of those 10,000 words, there's not all of them are kanji words. A lot of them are just in hiragana, katakana. So you don't have to worry about those. And of those that use kanji, the average adult Japanese person can write it from memory. So it makes sense that you would kind of want to be able to write it from memory yourself. But you're not going to be handwriting all the time. So, I just do it in my head. If I can't do it in my head, that's all. I just mark it wrong. I could write it out physically if I need to. But yeah. Anyway, I leave it like that. I was also asking you, what do you think about sentence? Sentence mining is something you want to do if you do it. I do it for different reasons, but if you do it, try to do it in the intermediate stages. Just concentrate. If you're not, I forget what level you are. I apologize. I think you're beyond that. I think you're like N3 and N2 level. If you're at that level, it's up to you. I do sentence mining, yeah, but I use Morphman. Some people just, they see a word or a sentence that looks interesting, they'll mine that sentence. I use Morphman for my own reason because I put all these dramas into Anki, and I look for the most common words. And usually, because I've already done the Let's Read of these particular shows, when I put them into Anki, when I see a sentence pop up, when I see a word pop up, what I do is I look at sentences that use that word that are from these dramas that I've read. And I'll find a sentence that's meaty. Like, it's like, okay, this is a good sentence. Not only does it remind me of the scene from the show, but it's also maybe a phrase or something that I kind of want to know as well. But for the most part, I'm using the vocabulary to help. The way to do it is I'm using Morphman, helps find a word. From that word, I look through the sentences to select a good sentence that kind of demonstrates that word and is good itself. And it reminds me of a scene from the show. Then yeah, sentence mine that. That's sentence mine. But I also have the JLPT Tango deck, so I also do vocabulary learning through that as well. It's up to you on though. Been studying for 4 months. Okay, so you're still most likely at beginning stages. Just get yourself get yourself past the N4 level. So yeah, get the Tango N5 and Tango N4 vocabulary, get that into your system, and then worry about sentence mining. If you're going to do sentence mining, that's the time to do it. Same thing with these whole Let's Reads. Definitely try to get past that N4 level before you try doing Let's Reads like this. Peppa Pig is the exception, and those children's shows that are very short and sweet. But if you're doing some more long form dramas, like if you do a drama like this, that's the equivalent of like doing a light novel. I mean, that's some serious Japanese you're trying to get through. And your first time you try to get through a drama like this, or even a simpler drama, let's say it's still a drama, but a simpler drama like Zetai Kodashi, I say this is, it took me 10 hours, almost 10 hours to get through just that the first episode of that drama. It just, because I'm looking up almost every other word in a sentence. Because really that's the level of Japanese you have. Now, and I was kind of maybe sometimes even utilizing the English translation as kind of to help out, like, to understand what the hell this sentence is trying to say. And that was kind of in a way was kind of helping teach me grammar. So don't be afraid of using the English subtitles to kind of help you as a last resort to kind of figure out what the hell this sentence is saying. But usually with sentence mining, when you get to that point, that's for if you're doing kind of the equivalent of Let's Reads. When you're doing sentence mining, hopefully you're just looking for, again, there's that one thing in the sentence you don't know. If it's a multiple things, that's probably not a good sentence to try to mine because you just got too many points of failure. You want to look to where it's only 1 point of failure. I'm probably speaking too fast, but yeah, it's kind of easy to explain, but at the same time, you have to, like, on an individual level decide like what is good for you, what works. Yeah, I'm buying the Tango M5 book. Yeah, so don't get into sentence mining early on. Definitely wait till you're past the N4 level, and don't fall into that game. Oh, I'm only going to sentence mine. I think you might at least try to do the N3 book while you're doing sentence mining. So try to do them kind of in parallel, and I think you'll find that's kind of fun to do. And when you get to that level as well, and then later on you say, you know what, these structured vocabulary decks just aren't doing it for me. They're too boring. Then you can put them on. Hey, you can put those on hold. Just do the reviews. That way you don't forget what you've learned from those, and just do sentence mining. You decide when to do the switch. Okay? And don't let anyone say like, oh, structured sentences, structured vocabulary lists are a waste of your time. It depends on the person. For me, they're useful. For other people, they may be a waste of time. You get to decide, but be aware, like, there's no one perfect way of doing it. find what clicks for you. But make sure though, you still have to learn something. Like here's a word you don't know, you're putting it into Anki, so you learn it, and you put it into Anki so you don't try not to forget it after you've learned it. Whether you do that as a vocabulary list or through sentence mining, it's up to you. Okay, so thank you, Loretica, for that question. Okay, with that said, I'm going to be finishing up this video. For those of you on YouTube, this will be kind of near the end of the video. For those of you on Twitch, I'll be doing one additional thing after this, playing the audio. But beyond that, yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the end of this particular episode. There's still 4 episodes left of the series. So another 8 videos for those of you on YouTube. Another 8 videos. Thank you all very much. This has been fun. On YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you enjoyed this series, like to see more, subscribe to the channel. If you appreciate what I'm doing with the Japanese, helping the Japanese learning community, then you can support that in one way is through the Patreon, links in the description, as well as through the website and the community Discord. Finally, if you'd like to hire me, let's say one-on-one, talking one-on-one, walking through the steps of setting up Anki to help learn Japanese in that way. The hourly rates and the payments are on the Patreon as well, but a direct link specifically for that is in the description. Cool. This has been Kurokao no Techo, episode 3, part 2. And those of you on YouTube, I will see you tomorrow. Those of you on Twitch, stand by. All right, later, guys.